Here we go. Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, I don't think these guys were infected.
Well, it don't matter. Let's just keep moving. All right. There's the bridge. That's our way out of here.
So this is recording, I don't know, it says 188, so I guess this is 189. Hope you guys enjoy the background footage that I'll have, because I don't feel like coming on camera for this one. I've had a rough couple of months this year, especially towards the end of this year. It's been pretty rough, and it's really crazy to think about, because it's really amazing how having a job either makes you or breaks you. Truly, having a job is the only thing that keeps anything in your life running. And I think that's really sad. I think that's really sad. Before I even start this video, I just need to put out a disclaimer. I understand that everybody's going through something across the world, around the world, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going through something, whether it's big or small. I'm pretty much on the verge of being homeless. I've been told that the 28th was essentially the last day to get everything situated and give them their keys back. But it turns out they weren't in the office today. I don't know if you consider that a fortunate break. Not really, because I still had to pack. I actually needed to start packing this entire week, but I haven't started packing because I've been talking to my family members on and off about different things that we can do. So I held off a lot of stuff that I probably should have never did. I probably should have never held off on, like getting stuff packed early, getting it into storage. But I do appreciate them trying their best to help out. But it kind of delayed a lot of things, because one of the biggest things I was talking to them about was possibly just staying with one of them for a little bit, just to get on my feet. And another disclaimer, I'm not a bum or anything. I'm not a bum. I have a job, still have a job, and at this point, I have 2 jobs. Um, it's just the time frame of which I get paid. I'm just not gonna have the money. I live by myself. I don't buy a lot of stuff. And I know the first thing people gonna be saying is like, "Oh, you gotta budget your money good. You gotta budget your money better." That's all common sense. That's all common sense. I've been living on my own for a couple of years now. I'm pretty sure I know how to budget my money. And what you guys don't understand is that when a job wants to cut your hours, there ain't shit that you can do about it. That's just the facts. You can sit up here and say, budget your money. That's a good ability to have, but there's nothing you personally can do about it if your company decides to cut your hours. The same situation that I'm in, you could be in too if you are a employee. That's a fact. The only people who do not have these type of problems are people who are self-employed, or the ones that, you know, that employ themselves. Or they have an upper position where they get paid by salary, not hourly. Yeah, the ones that get paid hourly, that's the bottom. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's 2025. If you're an hourly worker, those are bottom tier jobs. I mean, even if it is like 15, 16, 17, 19, $20 an hour, that's still a bottom tier job. Cat's out the bag now. Best part about it, they're replacing those jobs with AI. Yep. And another argument that people love to say is like, oh, these jobs, they were never essential jobs. Well, that may be true with some jobs, but then you look at other jobs, it's a pretty decent job. It's a pretty decent job. Like somebody who works at a restaurant, that may be bottom tier, but to a lot of people, those workers are essential. Like I get it, that because I'll argue that yes, that there are jobs that really aren't that essential. And I'm only going to agree with that point because I've seen jobs personally like that. I've seen jobs like that. Those are the jobs that you probably should look for something else while you're working that job, because that job is not going anywhere. Like that job is not taking you anywhere. Those jobs do exist. But then there's jobs like, restaurant worker. There's jobs like, even cashier. Cashiers are important. They're trying to replace those jobs with AI and robots. Like it or not, those are essential jobs, man. And, it's all fun and games until it's your job on a chopping block. Because they're even going after ones that are top tier. I read about it. I could even post the links in the description. They're going after lawyer jobs too. They're going after those too. So that's my situation right now. It's my last month. I put my stuff in the storage, and that's just gonna be that. Apparently, I gotta talk to one of my family members tomorrow about a final solution. Instead of just because at this point we've tried everything. We tried everything except allow me to just live with them for a little bit. You know, I'll be so grateful for it too. You know, one of my uncles, he was able to do that when he came back to the state I live in. He was able to live with one of my aunts just to get back on his feet. You know, and I asked her, like, hey, it'd be great if I could too, because it seems like I'm in the same situation. Yes, she told me no. You know, and yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be solo with this opinion. So I'm not even going to be shocked if nobody is going to agree with this next point that I'm going to make. I don't even care. It's situations like this that make me really wish that something like The Last of Us or Dead Island would happen in real life, man. Real talk. It's situations like this where, cause I'm at this point, man, like, and I'm only 26, man. I'm only 26, and it's like, I'm just kind of done with this whole system. Like, it's not even just like, because I'm very much aware that everybody's not going to relate because not everybody's been in this situation. So that's obvious right there. Everybody ain't going to be relatable to any of this because they never had, you know, they never had to go a day without eating. They never had to go, you know, weeks and weeks buying the bare minimum for food, the cheapest that you can get, and just make a meal out of that. It's a lot of people who, you know, they're gonna be listening to this video. They're not gonna be able to relate to any of this, you know. But even with all that being said, it's not even just that. Like, it's just everything in general. Like, I just fucking hate this system. I hate it. I hate it. And nature would do me a favor. Nature would honestly do me a favor if somehow, some way, something like that were to happen, like The Last of Us. I know it may seem a little crazy. Like, listen, I get it. I'm perfectly fine too. I'm 26. I'm 26. I'm not a crazy person. Like, I've really thought about this, man. I don't like the system because I've thought about this. How else is the system ever gonna get better? Like, how else is life ever gonna get better under this system? It's not. Countless people have tried. I say I want something like that to happen because it gives the earth a reset. That's truly the reason why. It's not because I'm depressed. It's not because I can't pay rent. Like, it's a collection of reasons. It really is. Like, this system is done, man. It's ran its course. It's ran its course. There's so much stuff that be going on in the world. Like, it just keeps getting worse every time you turn on a damn TV just to check out the news. You go to check out the damn news just to look at the weather. And what do you see? Rumors of wars. All you did was just turn on the TV just to see the damn weather for the damn morning. in the afternoon. And then you run into a fucking news press conference about wars. It's ran its course. This system is done. It's ran its course. And the best way to get rid of this shit is with something that we've personally seen on TV. I get it. It's TV. But that doesn't mean I still don't want it to happen. I really want something like this to happen. I really do. I want something like The Last of Us to happen. You know, where everything just resets. Everything will just be reset. I thought about this for a long time, man, and it's like, even with all the turmoil, the bloodshed, even with all that going on, you know, because I'm somebody who's watched, you know, The Walking Dead. I get it. Listen, I gotta keep saying this. I get it. It's TV. I get it. Okay? I get it. But what you guys don't understand is that a lot of these TV shows that you'll be watching, they base a lot of their ideas in reality. Like they try, because there's a reason why they try to, you know, do everything in reality. Because in all seriousness, they didn't even have to do that. Like when it comes to zombies, like they could have made the most cartoonish shit in the world. But why do they always try to ground ideas like that into reality? Because they want to see what a world would look like. Like they really want to envision a world where this shit actually happens. That's why they make TV shows like this. And it's very captivating. So it's only natural that people like me will think, you know what? What if something like this were to happen? Interesting. Look all these scenarios that they be going through. Like, I'm sorry. Like, man, listen. I'll be looking at the stuff they be going through on The Walking Dead. And the biggest argument that people will probably bring up is like, what's the argument they always bring up? What's that argument they always say? Like, you'll be forced to survive. You'll have to deal with you know, losing loved ones, criminals. You know the irony about bringing up those problems? The irony is that we deal with those problems now. And I say we as in people that have dealt with those problems. Because I know I have. But I like to say we just in case others have too. But just in case, I mean, I've dealt with those problems before. I'm dealing with those problems now. That's the irony of bringing up those issues. That'd be the number one thing, like, oh, you know, what about medical care? Or what about, you know, food? And see, that's what people in the United States really don't understand. They actually don't understand that in different countries, there's people that are living the apocalypse right now. Just minus the zombies. This is a fact. You don't have to believe me. Just turn on the news. Just don't turn on the normal news. You might have to look that up online. Look up the news that's in other countries. And you'll see the difference, the contrast between both those countries and the United States. It's night and day. It's completely night and day. That's what people in the United States don't understand. It's already the apocalypse in other countries, just minus the zombies. Swear to God. We got people killing. I mean, people kill every day, but you damn near could get away with it in other countries. Like, for real, these guys record stuff like that. You don't even have to be a gang member. You could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they'll record your execution. And they'll make fun of you. Another argument is food. Well, what about food? What are you going to do about food? Famine has always existed. Famine is not famine is not something that humanity hasn't dealt with. Like I keep saying. Everything that I'm saying right now, somebody in another country is dealing with that right now. And that's the biggest reason why I really do enjoy being in the United States. I do. Despite all its flaws, because the United States has a lot of flaws, and to keep it real, a lot of those flaws ain't never gonna get fixed. But as of right now, low key, it's better to be here than in certain countries. I'm not gonna say all of them, because there's definitely a lot of better places than the United States overall. But in certain countries, when you just compare, like I'm talking about the contrast between the two, I would rather be here than in certain countries. But back to the point, food. Okay. They always bring up food, how, what are you going to do about food in the apocalypse and stuff like that. A lot of places, it's hard to get food now. So I say all that, because I'm not just rambling. Like, these are legit things that people always bring up when you're somebody who actually wants an apocalypse. They like, hey, what about this? What about that? I say all this to say these are all issues that people deal with on a daily basis now. The only difference, I guess you could say, it'll be amplified, if that. The same problems that other countries deal with, that will most likely be what everybody deals with. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, I didn't want to make this video too long. I'm pretty sure most people clicked off the video probably the first 30 seconds. If that, probably less. But if you're still with me, I do appreciate you. I'm not trying to make anybody depressed or anything. It's just something that I've been thinking about, because I've heard conversations about, the reset. And I'm like, you guys, there isn't going to be a reset unless something bad happens. Like, there isn't going to be one. Like something like literally something like The Last of Us has to happen for there to be a complete reset. Because maybe we're thinking about two different resets. Because I'm thinking about a complete overhaul. I don't know the type of reset they talking about, but when I think reset, I think an entire reset, a complete overhaul of everything. And shoot, that's not gonna come unless an event like that happens. You know, a lot of people like to think that most wouldn't survive, and that may be true, but there is a lot of people out there. I like to include myself too. You know, I think I'll do pretty good. I probably wouldn't last like, you know, like the main characters do in the TV shows, but I think I fare pretty good. I really do. You know, I don't want this video to be too long. I really don't. Like, it's already been like 20 minutes, but I could go on forever about the things that I would do. You know, the things I would start off with, like, you know, cause I always ask the question, like, where does it start? You know, that's the biggest question to me. Where does it start? It's the biggest, you know, that's the biggest thing people don't think about. Where does it start? And wherever it starts, we'll go from there. Everything else will get planned out accordingly. You know, but just overall, you know, if you never played The Last of Us, man, I don't think you'll understand. You know, and that's another thing too, man. Like I started playing The Last of Us right around COVID. You know, and I think that's really what did it to me, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like I really think that because that timeline, I think you guys had to be there, man. Like that timeline was very interesting. Like, you know, for the people who don't know, I'm the type of gamer, you know, depending on the type of game that I like playing, I'll definitely go for the trophies. And I'll definitely go for the platinum. And I'm on PS5, so the ultimate trophy is the platinum. And yeah, I went for the platinum for The Last of Us Part 1. And that was actually around 2020. I thought it was 2019. But I completely 100% the entire game plus the DLCs around 2020. And 2020 was, as people know, that's when COVID happened. So I just thought it was it was just surreal at that time period. It was surreal playing The Last of Us, and then I also started playing The Last of Us Part 2 because Part 2 came out around COVID, and it was just surreal. Like I can't help it, man. It was just like, wow. What if we really are going to be living a reality like this? Like, that's what I kept thinking. I don't think people realize the type of mindset motherfuckers was in when COVID happened. For real, for real. Like, I mean, it's been over for years, but like, man, I know for a fact I was not the only one that was thinking crazy thoughts when COVID went down. Like, I thought this was the beginning of the end. Like, you guys know how in the beginning of the TV show, there's always like a calm before the storm. That's what I thought COVID was. You know, I really thought COVID was the beginning of the end for everything. You know, and then I just kept thinking like, man, I'm playing The Last of Us, but there's a good chance I'm actually playing my own reality right now. Like, I'm literally playing a video game of my reality. Like, this is going to be my reality in a couple of years. I'm telling you. Now, you couldn't tell me otherwise, man. I thought we was about to. I mean, maybe it was. Listen, I understand it's all fake and it's all games and stuff. You know, that's why early in the video I said minus the zombies. Like, I thought we was about to be living just like that. You know, and that time period, man, it was very odd. It was very surreal. You know, like I was really playing The Last of Us, and then next thing you know, COVID happens. Like, what the hell? Like, the timing was just ridiculous. You know, and I started looking at those games totally different. Totally different. And I ain't been the same since. But I don't want to go on a complete tangent. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's just what's going on in my life right now. That's what's going on, you know. kind of hard to think about anything else when this is the reality. And this will be my final thoughts. This will be my final thoughts on this. A lot of times I found myself looking at the scenery a lot in The Last of Us. There was plenty of times in the game where you'll be traveling on foot and you end up in a deserted neighborhood. Billstown is a great example of that. Probably one of my favorite parts of the game. Billstown. You end up in an area where there's abandoned cars, grass growing out of it, abandoned buildings, algae and grass growing out of it. I remember getting on top of the truck over there and looking down the street. All you saw was more buildings and a beautiful sunset.
Yeah, it's Bill's handiwork.
Anybody else live in this town?
As far as I know, it's just him.
Fireflies were everywhere, huh?
Yeah, they were. Hoping to restore the country to what it was.
Well, with a vaccine, maybe they will.
Maybe.
This is during COVID. Every time I saw scenery like that, I couldn't help but think, wow, just imagine if this were to happen in real life. I just know that if something like that were to happen, I think it'd be nature giving humanity the FU. The FU that humanity definitely deserves. And I know a lot of people, they probably think I'm absolutely insane for this type of video right now, but I'm not. I'm just done. I'm just done with this whole thing, man. Like, am I really the only one that's really taking a good look at the living situation of those guys, man? From The Walking Dead, The Last of Us. Because a lot of this bullshit that everybody calls normal doesn't even exist. It's a good chance there's a lot of people that may not agree with this. It'll be understandable if they don't. But I've said this in different conversations on different forums and Reddit and what have you. I think, me personally, I think the first 3 weeks of an apocalypse is going to be the most fun a lot of people has ever had. The first 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks. Because you got to understand, like, we're in a reality where we've seen these type of scenarios play out on screen. And then the way my brain works, I'll just keep asking myself over and over again, like, how did this happen? And what are the chances of this really happening? Like, is this really a dream? Am I dreaming? Like, I need to wake up. And listen, even if I'm somebody who lives life to the fullest, I'm sorry. The first 3 weeks of a zombie apocalypse, bro, that's gonna be bro. I'm telling you, there's no way. Because obviously, after 3 weeks, reality's gonna sink in. But within those first 3 weeks, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's gonna be. I'm not gonna have nothing but excitement on my face, regardless of what's going on. Cause I'm gonna just be in shock. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I cannot. What in the world? I cannot believe. Is this really happening right now? That's what I'm gonna keep asking myself and the crew that I'm gonna be with. We gonna be held up in a random house. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's only been like this. Picture this. It's only been like a couple of days, and already the buildings look exactly like The Last of Us, where they look fucking 10 years old, and there's like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, bro. The first couple days, every building that you see is gonna look run down, like it's been there for like 10 years. It's gonna be crazy, and that's the shit that we're gonna be held up in. We just gonna be looking at each other like, yo, is this really happening? Oh my god. We've seen this on TV so many times. You gotta be kidding me. But look, this video has been long enough. Okay, I get it. It's been long enough. I hope anybody who's been watching this, I hope you guys had this in the background while you're watching, while you're listening to something else, or you might be cleaning up or something like that. I appreciate you. I really do. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Again, this is all fantasy. Um, this is all fantasy, man. I just want that to be a disclaimer. Don't want nobody calling me crazy, you know. Um, and I know a lot of people on YouTube, they always say, leave a comment and shit like that. Honestly, man, I genuinely want to have a conversation about this. Like, real talk. I'm going to actually look in the comments, and I'm going to, I'm going to respond to every comment. Um, I just want to get other people's opinion. If you guys are willing to share your opinion on this entire video, the things that you didn't like, things that you may agree with, different scenarios that I brought up, because I brought up some really nice scenarios in this entire video. So I'm curious what y'all really think about it. I thought this would be an interesting video because I tried to draw parallels between the two. Being being damn near homeless. Well, I'm not homeless yet, but being homeless and the apocalypse. Like, I hate to say it, I hate to say it, but it's like you wouldn't have to worry about shit like that in the apocalypse. Now granted, the apocalypse brings on a clusterfuck of new problems. But these problems that modern day society gives people, it's not going to be around. It's not going to be existing. It's going to be gone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It sucks that I'm in this situation, but it is what it is, man. Hopefully I can have somebody to talk to on this video.